Hi, I'm Adam Pritchard. I am a paleontologist at the Smithsonian National Museum of Natural History, and I'm very excited to answer your questions about dinosaurs. Question number one. How hard is an ankylosaurus's armor? Really, really hard. Ankylosaurus are these armored dinosaurs, and their armor is made up of hundreds of thick, bony plates that go all over their body. They're actually embedded in the skin of the animal. There are plates on the back, plates on the arms, the legs, the tail, the head. Even the eyelids of an ankylosaurus have armor plates inside of them. So they're made up of bone, and bone, as you know, is incredibly hard, firm material. But in life, they actually would have been even harder because they would have been covered in a smooth layer of what's called keratin, which is a hard protein that in your body makes up your fingernails. So the armor plates in an ankylosaur in our museum, or the parts that were made of bone, they would have been even bigger, pointier, and harder when they were covered in keratin in life. Question number two, what is the Spinosaurus's sail for? That is a great question, and it's not one I'm going to have a great answer for because Spinosaurus is a really mysterious dinosaur. Right now, there's only one good skeleton in the entire world, and that's from the Cretaceous period of Morocco in northern Africa. And Spinosaurus is a crazy distinctive dinosaur. I mean, it's got this giant skin-covered sail made of skin and bones sticking up 6 feet out of its back. It would have been one of the most distinctive looking dinosaurs ever to live. Some scientists think that it could have used its sail to help itself cool down on a hot day. Another possibility is that Spinosaurus' sail was something that was for display, for showing off to other Spinosaurus. It might have been brightly colored. It might have been a really, really striking visual thing for other Spinosaurus to look at and say, oh, I don't want to go over there. There's another Spinosaurus. It might seem extreme to use this giant sail just to signal other Spinosaurus, but lots of animals have really weird and gigantic structures that are just for displaying to other animals. Think of the tail of a peacock, for example. Question number three, why do velociraptors have feathers? Well, Velociraptor is actually one dinosaur in a big family of what we might call the raptor dinosaurs, or the dromaeosaurs. Some, like Velociraptor, are relatively small, the size of a turkey. Others, like the Utah raptor and the Austroraptor, are giants, more similar in size to a horse. But every dromaeosaur for which we have evidence of skin has some kind of feathers. Some even have long arm feathers that would have looked like bird wings. Others would have looked a little more hairy, like a modern emu. And we don't actually have skin or feathers from a velociraptor, but what we do have are points on little knobs on some of the bones where you would have had feathers for a wing attaching. So Velociraptor not only had feathers, it probably had a wing of some kind. Now, an adult Velociraptor is a pretty heavy animal, about 50 pounds, and its arm muscles were not strong enough to allow it to take off. It wouldn't have been using its wing feathers to fly or anything like that. Now, some things it could have done, it would have had some feathers that would have allowed it to insulate its body. Velociraptor lived in desert environments, and those tend to have a lot of temperature extremes. Sometimes it's really hot, sometimes it's really cold. And feathers can help insulate the body to keep it a little bit warmer or a little bit cooler, depending on the temperature. Its wing feathers could also have had complex patterns. It could have been like a display structure where it shows off its cool wings to other velociraptors. And one new idea that scientists are looking into is that velociraptors' wings could have helped stabilize the animal when it sat on top of some kind of prey item. If you look at modern eagles and hawks, sometimes they use their wings to kind of stay standing while their prey, whatever they're trying to hunt, is struggling underneath their talons. And Velociraptor definitely would have attacked and killed prey that was heavier and larger and more muscular than it, and the wings might have helped stabilize it if the prey tried to escape. Question number four, Why does Carnotaurus have horns on its head? And that is an awesome question, and another one that I don't have a great answer to. There's only one skeleton of Carnotaurus that's ever been discovered from the Cretaceous period of South America. Although its teeth are those of a predatory dinosaur, the horns on the top of Carnotaurus's head, which sits right above the eyes, would not have been great for attacking or killing prey. They're not sharp, they're not really all that pointy, and they're not in a good position to help the animal catch whatever it's trying to eat. But the horns on Carnotaurus are definitely a really distinctive feature. There's no other dinosaur that has quite that shape of horn. So if a Carnotaurus wanted to signal its presence to another Carnotaurus, having those horns would be extremely helpful. Now we can look at modern animals today that have big, thick horns on top of their heads and make some educated guesses about what Carnotaurus might have done with them. One possibility is that Carnotaurus actually engaged in like headbutting, pushing competitions with other Carnotaurs to fight for territory or mates. Some scientists actually built a computer model of a Carnotaurus head and slammed them together to try and see if Carnotaurus could take the impacts. And based on that model, they wouldn't have been able to take really hard impacts. So you couldn't have two Carnotaurus running at like 20 miles an hour and slamming into each other really fast. But you could easily have had Carnotaurus shoving each other back and forth really, really hard for superiority competitions. One of the problems is we don't have anything but that one Carnotaurus skeleton to study. So it'd be really helpful if any of you want to grow up to be a paleontologist, if you could go down to South America and maybe find that second skeleton, because that'll really help answering those kinds of questions.